Hi traders, this is Chris from Elite Currency with a new update on the euro dollar and of course the pound dollar. Alright, first of all, the euro dollar has really gone flat for the moment. A lot of sideways price action, low volatility, hardly any price movement up and down. The range is getting tighter and tighter. It's really 30-40 pips, and it reminds me of the dollar yen, which really slowed down to a few pips movement in the day about almost a decade ago, I guess, maybe 8 years ago or so. It's not that drastic as yet, but it is slowing down a lot. Now we have clear range at this moment on the dollar yen, and it is looking like an ascending wedge to me. But certainly we're looking for a breakout either up or down for the moment, right? Now that breakout could be dangerous because of the low volatility. It could be easily a false break as well. But for the moment, price is kind of going in this 21 EMA sideways, trying to break above it, trying to break below it. But when it does, it doesn't manage to go anywhere really. So this could be the fourth attempt or fifth attempt above the 21 EMA. What it really needs to do is break above 112.25 probably in the long term, 144 EMA of this 4-hour chart. And then there's a fair chance price could get up maybe to retest these tops in here. Not a lot of space, around 112.75-ish probably. Or actually 112.60, maybe 112.80. That could be the next target zone to keep in mind. If it does break to the downside, it will have to break below this fractal at the very minimum here at 111.80. Maybe even the next one at 111.66. And there could be a bearish breakout for more downside. All right, so if we get the downside break, this bullish price action could be a pullback, and I think that in that case, there's a fair chance price will go down to maybe 111 first of all. All right, and then we'll have to see if there's a bear flag. Then it could go further, maybe down to 110.50, 110. Sorry, I wrote 110. I actually meant 111. Sorry about that. 111. There we go. Bear flag, and then down to maybe 110.50/110. If we get the bullish move up, first target, as I said, very short, very close. But if it then goes with a bull flag after that, we can expect price to move up to the long-term moving average at around 113, 113.25. Very tight zones for the moment, specifically to the upside. If, and most importantly, if we get flags after the break, then we might be looking at some bigger movements in either directions. Otherwise, there's always a risk of a false break. But the flags, if we get them, bull or bear flags, will help identify continuations. What we really want for the bulls, if we were looking for upside, is really a break above 113.25 in the long-term moving average, a flag, and then there's a good chance that finally price is making that bigger upside that I was looking for already a while now, right? But all of these upsides got rejected by the 144 EMA so far. All right, let's add this trend line to it as well. Maybe not the best trend line, something like this. Another resistance point at 112.65-ish. And this resistance trend line as well around 112. Well, actually the current resistance zone right now. Okay. Otherwise, nothing much to add, I think, for the moment. Price is going into maybe even a triangle at this point. But in any case, it's some kind of correction and waiting for the breakout. Pound dollar continued lower. Actually, we said that this ABC was likely. Remember, here we're saying look for one more leg lower at the very minimum. Then it depends. Is that a wave C or a wave 3, right? And that depended on the reaction to the upside. We were saying look for, if we were getting an upside break, look for a break of the 21 EMA. That could indicate that this is an ABC, but we never got the break. What we did get was a third leg as expected. The bounce to 144 EMA, but then it bounced to 21 EMA rather than a breakout. So this is how you can use those moving averages, 144, 21 EMA zone, and all of that I explain in my SWAT method if you are by any chance curious about this approach and the details of it. Now, we got one more leg lower, and now we're making a bear flag. So from my point of view, pound dollar looks more clear than the euro dollar. It looks bearish to me. And we're having a pretty good series. I think that this leg could have still been an ABC, but with the next lower low, it's really starting to become more likely that this is a wave 3, a bearish wave 3, and that this upside was probably a bullish ABC. Now, it's still at the a phase where you want to be careful. Let's put the fib from here to here. All right, we bounce off the 61.8 fib, and the moving averages are still flat or on top of each other, hitting each other. So it's not a full-fledged downtrend as yet, but I think the bearish pressure and momentum is there. And I think for the moment that there's a pretty good chance that there will be a continuation, at least at the 78.6 fib around 129.33, as you can see. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. Again, so not sure about this particular wave pattern, but I think that as long as it stays below the long-term moving average, below this 21 EMA, like this, I think there's a fair chance that this is a retracement, and if price breaks below this support line of that bear flag, there's a good chance of continuation. We can put a fib like this from here to here. This is maybe the wave 1, 2. All right, there we go. And the next target is around 129.30, the minus 161.8 target. All right, so 129.30 seems to be kind of the level to think about for the moment as a downside target. If it does move up above this resistance zone here around 130.50, then we'll have to see. Depends on how price moves to the upside. If it breaks above this, you know, it really depends. If we get a flag, more upside, certainly possible. However, if there's a close in reverse, then it's still likely that this was a retracement. Look for a flag here and then look for a continuation lower. All right, if it breaks above 130.50. If it stays below it, likely that's a bear flag and likely that it's going to continue lower, in my view, on the pound dollar. And if we get a move lower, then this could still be, you know, a bigger correction or maybe the start of a downtrend. We'll have to see on these higher time frames. We can keep an eye on a trend line like this, of course, to indicate the re-break on the daily chart. Here too, this support trend line off of this daily chart is around that 129.30 level. And of course, 128.75 important as well, because that's the horizontal support. So if it breaks below that, we might be looking finally at a bigger downtrend on the pound dollar. Until then, this is bearish, but still could be a retracement for a bounce here at the 129.30 level. So we got to be careful of that. Moving averages are flat on the daily chart. So once again, another reason why if it does break to the downside, it could easily pop back up at that 129.30 level. All right. That's about it for now. Wish you all good trading and see you in the next video, of course, over the weekend. Cheers.